Okay guys, so there's been a lot of talk regarding the Fantastic Four, and one of the things that comes up is people have obviously asked me how I would do the Fantastic Four, especially if it was part of the MCU. So I am going to give my take here on it and really get my thoughts out on how I would structure this franchise into the MCU and how honestly I think it perfectly fits in. So yeah, let's get into that. So first and foremost, I just want to address the issue that people say you can't make a good Fantastic Four movie, it's impossible. It's not impossible. The problem is that people just don't understand the character, which is something, or characters, which is something I hope to establish here. And why you would have to kind of treat them with, love and respect, and actually get their characteristics and, their whole themes pretty much spot on to get these characters right. So to me, the Fantastic Four in the MCU would actually start as a 60s period piece. Now, it would start and it would still be the early days of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s formation that we've seen in such things like Ant-Man and, flashbacks in Agent Carter. Now, it would start with someone like Peggy Carter, naturally, and, along with Howard Stark and maybe even, Hank Pym, going to recruit a few people because there is a new secret mission that wants to be tested. Now, this secret mission is actually being arranged by S.H.I.E.L.D., who is in fact, as we know now, Hydra. And one of the lead scientists that's of course there is Artem Zola. And we see that he has detected something in space, and he's actually lying about the mission that they're going to be going on along with Hydra here, because they've detected an actual, cloud up there that is coming closer and closer to Earth, and it's going to pass by it. So they need to test a team of people going up there because he wants to naturally test it out on humans, much like the Nazis tested out various, gruesome things on their subjects. And for this, he actually ends up getting some younger people, about 20 years old, people that are in school. This would, of course, be the Fantastic Four, but along with them would actually be Dr. Doom. And at this point, he would be from Latveria. We would actually get quick flashes, how he came to be on this team and everything, how he's been working with them, except he has obligations in Latveria that he doesn't want to go with them on this mission. But he is envious of Reed Richards because he is so smart, and he is jealous that his experiment to save his mom failed because, he just wouldn't listen, and he does end up kind of getting caught in this experiment and ends up getting, kicked out of the school. So he goes and travels Earth. And that's when the story would obviously go back and pick up with the Fantastic Four. So we see them right around the, the race to get into space, and this secret mission being arranged by S.H.I.E.L.D., and they shoot them into space. And, up there, they're conducting some experiments, all under secret. Only a handful of people know about this, and, it's said to be kept off the books. Now, what happens is, of course, the cloud does hit them, and they end up exploding, or they end up exploding to the eyes of everybody watching. What actually happens is they've been teleported into time, almost into something like we've seen in Ant-Man. So I would have them stuck in the microverse, and how I would explain as they get out is when they saw Scott Lang there, Reed Richards was able to realize what was happening, and since they were in a ship, they were actually shielded from it. So he's had all this time without them aging or anything to try to come up with something. And he saw Scott Lang, and then he actually reverses it and pops them right back out into space. Here's the twist though. When he does, it's modern age. It would be 2017, 2018. And they just show up and crash right above New York. At this time, we would have the modern S.H.I.E.L.D. and the heroes such as Tony Stark and stuff, go there being like, whoa, what is this? And much like Captain America, they're going to be heroes out of time. They're like, well, where's the Baxter Institute? And they're like, well, since you guys disappeared, that was shut down. It's still over there. No one's touched it, but what the hell? Where have you guys been? And they're like, well, we kind of want that back. And at this age, since they are they're this special story, now it's out in the light that, they were the first astronauts out there. They did the first experiments, and now they're a family that survived through all of this, and everybody's looking at them as national heroes. That's how you working the Fantastic Four are worldwide heroes. They're celebrities. Because one, Unlike Captain America, they live in the spotlight, and now Reed Richards is back, and he is the smartest man in the Marvel Universe. So he is going to use his brain and his smart to try to better mankind. And this is where it would come back with some of the other villains. Of course, first off, I would go straight up and introduce Mole Man. And it would be a person that is right there. He's underneath New York. No one's had time to check it, but they're going to battle him and the Mole People. Now, they're not exactly going to be like the Mole People you know from the comics. There would be more like disfigured kind of humans that were maybe part of some sort of old experiments by by S.H.I.E.L.D., and they are actually blaming Reed Richards because he was part of these experiments that he didn't know that went wrong. So, in turn, they're blaming him for their disfigurement and the way they look, but it's not really his fault. It was S.H.I.E.L.D., but they don't understand that. They just want to get revenge on him. Now, at the same time, there's a figure that's missing. And who is that? Well, that's Dr. Doom. Now, I wouldn't set him as the first villain. I would actually set him up as the villain for the second movie and the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. And his story would actually be all the way in Latveria. Now, how I would tie Latveria in this would actually be very simple. I would actually go to an area where I'm from, former Yugoslavia, and that country ended up, completely disbanding. So we have places like Serbia, we have Montenegro, there's Bosnia, obviously, and Sokovia would be a part of that. Now, Sokovia, where the Avengers were in Avengers Age of Ultron, I would say was also once part of Latveria, that they were two countries but divided by war. They were divided because, Doom wanted to rule it in one way, the Sokovian government wanted to rule it in another, and he exiled them out and just left them there. Unfortunately, he did sort of still have some sort of, connection with the place, and he did not like it when the Avengers went there without, jurisdiction, really. They kind of just go in and they do their thing. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You guys never asked to trespass on my land. We made it clear, Latveria and this surrounding area is mine. Now, what are you guys doing here? And since they were old friends, we could have the Fantastic Four visit him, being like, oh man, what's up? And he would naturally be envious that they actually have grown, as characters, they've grown, as, how would I put this up? They've grown as humans. They've had all this time to think and really better themselves, and now they're celebrities, and he's really jealous of that because now he's gotten old. He's about, 40 years old now? So he would be in his late, 50s, early 60s, and Dr. Doom would literally be this old man who just hates everybody. He hates how times have changed. He hates that superheroes are everywhere, and he literally vows to go after the Avengers once and for all, and this is going to set up what would happen in the sequel. What would happen after Phase 3? You could work him in as the ultimate Marvel villain for a few movies. So after that's established, of course, the Fantastic Four would leave him, and he's going to start his scheming. They would come back naturally to New York, and that's where we would get the final showdown, the big showdown. And I would include a few Marvel characters in this. I wouldn't include, anybody that's big or extravagant. Like, Iron Man doesn't need to be there. Tony Stark can make a cameo, but, he's going to be busy doing his stuff with the Avengers. And the Fantastic Four don't want any part of that. They don't want to be this, team responsible for going to other countries and doing this. They want to better their own stuff. They want to start an institute for actual children. And we're going to see, that during this time that they actually do start that. They want to better humanity, and they start a school proper. So, as they're doing that, Captain America could stop by. Maybe even Spider-Man could stop by and be like, whoa, Reed, what are you doing? And this is where I would introduce the very crucial relationship of the Hulk, Bruce Banner, and of course one of his best friends in the comic, Reed Richards. Now, the age gap, I think, honestly would lend itself perfectly to a perfect story because Reed could really want to, help reverse this, just like he would for Ben Grimm. Now, here would be the difference. Since they got back, they didn't get their powers until they were out of the microverse. So, having these powers when they come back, they were like, wow, now the world has changed, and I got to try to help Ben Grimm. And now I have this Bruce Banner guy who's telling me you shouldn't help him. Learn to live with this, guys. You guys need to learn with this. And Bruce Banner would almost be like a big father figure, mentor figure to these people. Because, he's lived through all this and he knows how to live with quote-unquote a disability that's a superpower. So that is just my idea. I know this video went on for a little bit longer, but like I said, I absolutely love the Fantastic Four. They are my favorite team in comics, and I think if Marvel was to, get the rights to them, I think this would honestly be a perfect way to structure them into the Marvel Cinematic Universe and really get them out there. So you guys, let me know your thoughts on, what I'm saying right now, and do you guys like my idea? So thank you for watching the video, and if you guys like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you haven't already, check out some of these other great videos we have on the channel. Just click the annotation right there, it'll take you to them. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a good one.